Hey ladies, welcome back to the channel. I'm Yanka, your Christian trainer and prayer warrior, and I am so glad that you're here. So today, I'm not giving a declaration for this week, kind of, but I'm going to talk a little bit about a revelation that God gave me. I think I touched on it a bit, maybe year before last, but I'm coming back around to this. So anyway, this week's verse would be Joel 2:25. And I'm reading this from the New King James Version, and it says, that God will restore to me the years that the swarming locusts have eaten, the crawling locust, the consuming locust, and the chewing locust. And it's more to that, but that's all I wrote down. But anyway, that, God is very purposeful. He doesn't waste words. And when he has words, you need to, follow. What does this mean? What is God talking about here? So with that, with this, God was showing me the process. There's a process going on here. So I was praying one night and I heard in my spirit, I will restore the years. I will restore to you the years. That just kept going in my spirit. So, I began to look that up. I knew to go to Joel 2:25 and just, go through, okay, Father, what does this mean? So anyway, that the swarming locust, this is how the process works. So with that swarming locust, that is a multitude of things happening. Like hit you at once. You know how people say things happen in threes or whatever they say. But, the enemy, that's his thing, hit you out the one thing after the other. And what that does is set up to drown out the voice of God. So you cannot hear God's voice. So that's what that swarming locust is about. That crawling locust. So you have all these things going on. This locust comes to cause you to lose hope. So I'm not hearing the voice of God. Now I have nothing to, rest my hope in. I have nothing to hope for. And then that next one, the consuming locust, is that locust that is a devourer. It devours you with fear. So cuts you off from the voice of God, cause you to lose hope. And now you're in a state of fear. So, fear is the opposite of faith. You have, it's faith for the wrong thing. So this fear comes along, you're devoured by this thing. You can't even hear God's voice. You don't know which way to turn. All these things are going on. So that's how that works. And then that chewing locust is the thing that comes to cause you to cut you off from the joys of life. It brings grief and depression, oppression, all that kind of stuff. So that's the cycle. And then I was looking at what the natural locusts, what they do, but they work in cycles. And one of those locusts I know it's like they do a 4-year cycle. But that's why it takes God to restore, because he has to break that off and then restore to you, because that's where these things come and they break. You're working in these cycles. You don't get out of these. And it's just like children of Israel when they were in the wilderness and they were just cycling around, never got to the promised land. But when God comes to restore, and here's the other part of that, when he restores, God does retroactive restoration. And that story is in, I believe it's 1 Samuel, when that lady had come back, the widow, and she had come back, and the king restored to her all, like from the time she was gone, because there was a famine in the land. She left, then she came back. So he restored to her from that time up until now. And that's what God does. So that's my message to you this week, is to, meditate on Joel 2:25, because God is good. He will supply, like he said. He will restore all the things that you thought you have lost. So thank you for listening. God bless you. And I will see you again real soon. Bye.